Hey guys, DarkFox36,
And Dancy too.
and this is our Cerebi intro video, basically.
This is God.
This is your god. This is your everything you need to know about Pokemon. It's
Fuck
updated.
Bulbapedia.
It's updated a lot. So if we scroll down, you can see these are all kinds of news about Pokemon. Pokemon Plus Nobuanga's Ambition Pictures, Black and White Lucario download, Crustle Sea Gear.
You have no idea what any of that means.
I know what this is. I know what this is. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what the ambiguous picture is.
The what?
The picture part.
Oh, this is Nobuo's Ambition.
What is that?
It's a so for anyone who hasn't heard about it, there is a game coming out that's going to be a crossover between this Japanese strategy game called Nobuanga's Ambition and Pokemon, where it's going to be a real-time strategy game like Final Fantasy Tactics with Pokemon.
Huh.
I don't know whether they're releasing it in America,
Probably not.
but they are coming out with it. No, I saw Nobuanga's Ambition at GameStop the other day.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, it's available.
Then again, you know, they never released any of the Mother games besides Earthbound.
No. But anyway, so your key area to go to is this sidebar right here. So there's different places you can go to. You can go to the attack decks, you can go to the Pokedexes. I tend to use the Pokedex for everything. And you want this
And
Pokedex.
by the way, it doesn't just have Pokemon games. It's got, you know, anime, manga, everything.
Yeah, these are different video games,
And
manga.
for anyone who doesn't
movies.
know, I'm a major whore for the Pokemon manga.
But this one right here is where you want to be. This is the Fire Red, Leaf Green, Gold, Silver, Crystal, and Ruby, Sapphire,
This is
Emerald.
Generation 3, basically.
Yes, this is Generation 3.
Which is what we're using, so this is where we're going to be focusing.
Yeah, so if we wanted to look at Trico, which is Dan's main right now, this is Trico. So when you look at it, these are the two colors. This is shiny.
Shiny Pokemon are very rare. Hopefully, I still don't know how Chugga did that. I swear there was some kind of cheating involved.
Anyway. And then it'll tell you what its abilities are and everything. So ability Overgrow, when Trico's HP gets low, its grass type attacks power is multiplied by 1.5.
Basically a worthless ability.
Well, yeah, basically. It's got the gender ratio, it's got the classification, it's got the evolution chain.
Oh no,
This is what you
spoilers!
want. Category is grass.
I don't even know what any of that stuff means. I think that's from Fire Red and Leaf Green.
It is. But this will tell you where all of the flavor text. It's just the stuff that it says in the Pokedex is about it.
Yep.
And then this tells you where you can get it.
And we go.
So rarity, there's only one in these games, and then you can transfer it to these guys.
Other
one
Pokemon
cool
will
thing-
tell you what areas it can find in and stuff like that.
Yes, for people who don't know, Coliseum and XD for the
I may do Coliseum eventually.
yes, for the GameCube, you can actually transfer Pokemon from the Game Boy Advance games onto those games and use them.
Yep.
Which is really cool. Or vice versa.
I'm not sure if you can do vice versa.
I thought you could. Anyway.
I'm not in the main quest of Coliseum.
This is a list of all of his attacks, and this is the old version of his attacks. So this is what we're actually working with in the current game of Emerald.
That plus HMs and TMs, which, by the way, are just extra moves we can learn by using items.
Yeah,
and I have to remember they aren't unlimited in this game.
This right here is where you want to look for if you're playing Emerald, for what attacks it has. This is where you look for Fire Red, Leaf Green level up. And then these are all the TMs and HMs that it can learn.
Actually, wait a minute. Let me see the move tutor moves, because I don't know them.
Here. These are the move tutor moves. So there's a function later in game where you can go to the move tutor, and the move tutor will actually teach your Pokemon moves that it couldn't learn otherwise. There's actually Emerald exclusive.
Oh yeah, let me see the
attacks
Emerald
as well.
ones, because those are usually better.
Dynamic Punch.
Oh, I can learn Thunder Punch.
Yeah, you can learn Thunder
That's
Punch,
good.
Fury Cutter, Sleep Talk. But you wouldn't.
I'm not gonna make him a
Trico.
rest. I'm not gonna run a rest stalker on him. That's not gonna work.
Yeah. Crunch, etc., etc. These are the egg moves, so you can actually egg move. And
Which
these
is breeding. Breeding is basically when we get to the daycare center, you can put two Pokemon in if they're compatible with each other through a great number of things. Basically, there's egg groups, and if they work together with that, and then their natures, which is a whole nother bucket of fish. I'll get into natures later. If they're compatible, they can make an egg. The egg will be the female Pokemon, will come out of the egg with possibly a move from the male, and this is the list of moves that he could possibly learn from the male.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. If you're a big breeder like me or play game, then
There's a
you can
lot of
actually
things you can do with it.
really rig the system. Um,
I think I did it once and I lost my mind and I just said fuck it from then on out.
yeah, and this is the egg groups right down here. I'll actually tell you that.
Yep.
Steps that you have to take to hatch the egg, and then base stats. So these are the base stats.
This isn't a really good look. You really want to, for base stats, you really want to look at your final evolution because that'll give you a better idea.
Yes, but this is something you can touch on right here.
Right.
Explain the
And
natures and
what
why
I was
it
just saying
affects
earlier with natures. Nature is basically introduced in the third generation. Different natures will increase different stats. Your nature will increase one stat and decrease another. And the max stats right there, as you can see, that is with a nature that one is just increase, one is decrease. Nature will increase by 10% and decrease by 10%. There are natures, however, that I prefer that don't increase anything because it increases and decreases the same stat, so you get a relatively same thing.
I don't. I like to go.
I prefer it for some Pokemon. Basically,
So-
I don't like to knock any of my defenses, so unless I'm running a pure physical or pure special, I like to keep them balanced.
Yes. So, but to give you an idea about what I like to do, and I'll literally give you my build right now of my main, just so that you can have an idea of what you go through in order to figure out, how you should play and like what Pokemon to use, etc. So this is my main, Gengar. So with the Gengars, basically what I do is I look at its attacks. So you want to look at the attacks. So accuracy, obviously, is how often it'll hit. 100 means it'll hit every time.
Well, it has 100% accuracy, not that it'll hit every time.
True, it'll
There
hit
are
almost all.
There
the
are
time.
specific moves that will hit every time.
PP is how many times you can use it, and then attack is how powerful the attack is. That stacks on top of your base attack power, whether it be special or regular attack. So like Gengar, I run him with wow, these move lists are really weird.
Well, yeah, because it's like 2 generations ago.
Yeah, I use Gengar with Shadow Ball right here, and then I use Hypnosis
Dream Eater,
and Dream Eater, and then Poison. Where's Poison?
What kind
It's
of?
a TM.
I mean,
Sludge Bomb.
Yeah.
Because 90 is pretty good. Now, Shadow Ball is going to be your most effective attack. Its attack is actually higher than that now. It's not 80 anymore.
it isn't? I thought it
No.
was still 80.
I'm pretty positive it's higher. I'll double check it.
But it's going to be higher nonetheless because because he's a poison type as well. So either way, he gets what's called Stab, which is same type attack bonus, which is if you use moves that are your type, you get a 1.5 multiplier on them.
Exactly.
And I just stole his thunder. Go me.
So say that you are, say that I am a ghost poison type, which I am with the Gengar, and I use Sludge Bomb. I get automatically 1.5% extra damage. It's 0.5% extra damage realistically. Plus, that stacks with any weaknesses that the other Pokemon may have. So if it's weak to a poison type, then
Which would be grass and grass alone.
Exactly. If I use Sludge Bomb on a poison type, or on a grass type, it's going to take 4.5% damage. Or 4.5 times damage, excuse me.
Is it?
Yes. It gets 0.5 extra.
I thought it would be 2.5 then.
Oh, right, you're right. It's not super effective. It's just effective.
It's super effective,
but
not,
it's not
times 4 effective.
Times 4 effective.
Times 4 effective would be if both of the enemy's types are weak to the move.
I'm going to show them that. Anyway, but I run a beneficial nature, and beneficial nature puts me at a base stat, and this is one of the big improvements you can see, as well as, I'm not going to go over training like that. Not right now.
I'm not going over fuck IVs and EVs, really. It's very complicated. If you want to get into it, there's whole things on Cerebi.
I'll show you the page, but
it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, but it's basically competitive battling.
This is the big benefit. 394 special attack
and
350 speed. There are not many things in the game that have a higher special attack or speed than that. Now,
And that's
speed,
that's
there
a
are
level
far more.
that's a
but
level 100 stat, by the way. If you're looking for just base stats, it's the top row right there. That's really
Yes.
what's going to give you your benchmarks.
But either way, those benchmarks.
110 is pretty
Gengar
good.
has one of the highest special attacks of any non-legendary Pokemon. We went over this.
I think a lot of this has a lot of things have 130.
Not when beneficial, and after being IV leveled. Anyway,
We know you love Gengar. You can shut up about it.
If you go into the game mechanics section of Cerebi, you'll then see different mechanics. So you can see effort values and individual values. So effort
values is basically when you kill a Pokemon, they give you effort values. You get 4, depending on what Pokemon it is, you'll get an effort value for a certain stat: HP, attack, defense, speed, special attack, special defense, whatever. For some of them will give you more, some of them will get you less. For every 4 EVs you get an extra point in that stat. People basically use this to set up competitive battling teams by whoring out very specific Pokemon for that stuff. You can only have a certain number of EVs, by the way. You can also artificially do this by using what are they called? Vitamins? Vitamins in the game, which is like calcium, iron, protein.
But
which
you have a limit of that too.
Yes, and those increase, I think, by 10?
Yes. Now, and that's one of those things is you'll see that it increases.
They give you 10 EVs, which basically means do 2, and you'll get 5 extra points in that stat.
Exactly, and so you can see, like, for me, each Pokemon can have a maximum of 5, 10. I was fighting things that had a lot of special attack EVs, so if I go to that and speed, and this is a list of everything that gives you special attack EVs in all of the Pokemon games.
It also determines the number of points they give you on the right as well.
Exactly, on the right. And when you get enough of those points, it gives you extra stuff. So by the time you're done training up, like my Gengar in Soul Silver had insane special attack. You can remember that Gengar. I would Shadow Ball something, and if it didn't die in one hit, it was dead when you attacked it.
Are you annoyed with this whoring of Gengar yet? Because too bad, it's going to happen for the rest of the LP, boys and girls, and I have to live with it.
I'm giving an example of what you can do with a Pokemon.
Okay, so and I will give an example as well.
For your Pokemon, what were you running as your main in Soul Silver competitive? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't run a main because I don't...
Well, no, but in our team, your first was Flygon.
Yeah, I've been running my Flygon, and I ran him throughout my entire Ruby game, so he had pretty balanced EVs, which is what I like.
Which is Dan's playstyle. He likes things to be balanced because it means that he won't end up in a situation like I do, where I rely upon...
His Gengar is very niche, and if it falls out of that niche, it's going to get its ass kicked very quickly.
Exactly. I rely upon Dan, and this is something you'll find in double battles, in competitive battling. I rely upon Dan as my tank, no matter what.
Which is what Flygon's job is to tank shit. He always has
Flygon, and then his secondary was the Lantern.
Right, who is also a massive tank because of his HP stat.
Exactly. Because I rely upon him to Earthquake, because I have Levitate on my Gengar, and hopefully take most of the attacks. Because Gengar
has shit defense.
He has horrible defense in every way imaginable. Basically, the way that what would happen when we played is we would come out, I would swing one attack. If my Shadow Ball hit something, it usually died. And then, hopefully, I made it to the next turn. Hopefully. If I didn't, my Lapras came out, we finished everything off, and we won no matter what. But either way, I would at least get one Pokemon with my Gengar. Sometimes we would get 2 because his Flygon would Earthquake, and then I could do, where I Hypnotize something or something like that.
Yeah, there was a lot of things going on. I think we can just leave it at that.
Yeah, but that's the way you look at a matchup, is you look at, well...
your stats, where you can outspeed them, what types you have. It's a lot more complicated than you would think, and people have gone way too in-depth with it. I'm about halfway in-depth.
And then, also, there's a bunch of other stuff in this list. Capturing Pokemon is good to look at. It gives you a capture rate. So certain Pokemon are really hard to catch.
Fuck Chansey.
Chansey, legendaries, things like that. And using better Pokeballs makes it easier to catch them.
Right now, we haven't gotten any Pokeballs that will increase our capture rate yet, but we will eventually.
Yeah. Then the other thing to look at, I'm not even touching critical points the critical hits is stupid to talk about at this point. Hidden power, not going to talk about yet. Maybe we will if you actually.
I don't think
use
I
it.
have access to it.
And then the other
Speed priorities.
speed priorities.
We don't have a lot of priority moves in this game. Priority moves are basically, it doesn't matter what your speed is, you'll always hit first with them. They really got blown out more. Well, not really blown out more. They got a lot more expanded on with different types in Generation 4. But in this generation, we really don't have access to a lot of them.
Exactly. Now,
It's just basically you hit first. End of discussion.
The most basic, most important thing to look at is this right here, the type chart. Now,
speaking of which, we should probably look at physical special split if they have it somewhere.
I don't think they do. But 4 times damage is the star, 2 times damage is green, 1 times damage is blank, half damage is a square.
I'm going to read what's on
damage,
the screen.
No damage. So this is the chart breakdown. So, like, if you're running, I'm going to keep using Gengar because it's the one that I know the best.
Alright.
Anyway, if you're running Poison Ghost, I think that's under Ghost.
It's Ghost Poison.
Yeah, Ghost Poison. You can then look across the chart and see
it should be noted that primary and secondary types, it doesn't matter which one's primary and which one's secondary.
They both count.
Yeah, it both counts fully and equally, so it really doesn't matter, but they kind of organize them in an ass way because of it.
Yeah, but looking at it, like, normal has 1 weakness. 1 weakness and 1 weakness only, and that
but
is
it doesn't
fighting.
resist anything.
It doesn't resist anything, no.
And it can't hit
Well,
ghosts.
no damage to Ghost, and it can't take damage.
And it can't take damage from Ghost, but that's only Ghost moves.
Yeah, but here's the thing when you're looking at this, the more important thing to look at is when you see a star. You start to see stars when you see poison and fighting.
You have to, well, it has to be more than one type in order to be a star.
Exactly. If you want to deal 4 times damage to something, or 4.5 if you're stabbing, then you're looking at, they have to be weak. Both types that they are have to be weak to you.
And
so
this
right
is actually
here,
fairly
this is
more
dark.
This is actually fairly.
Oh no, psychic.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
It's psychic. It's actually fairly more common than one would assume because, for example, our friend Mudkip in his final evolution will be a ground water, which means he takes times 4 from grass.
Yes, times 4 from grass. And the only annoying thing about this chart that I have is that you can't see the other side when you're scrolling down. But if you print it out, which I have done before, it
that's
gets
gonna
really...
eat ink. That's gonna eat ink like nothing.
No, you print it in black and white.
Yeah, that's true.
You just print it in black and white and you're
Plug.
done. Or you go like
for
this.
a game.
Go like that and then select print selection. I'm trying to help.
I know,
anyway,
it's just
so that's
taking so long.
everything that you really need to know about finding info about Pokemon.
Hold
and
on, let me see.
Yeah.
Let me look.
There's also a damage calculator in here where you pump in your base stat.
You can see what natures are for certain Pokemon. What natures give you what effects. What?
Your favorite.
Eevee or event?
The Eevee factor.
I don't know. I've kind of lost interest in a lot of the Eevee forms, really.
You lost interest in Umbreon?
Yeah, Umbreon's kind of crap in 5th gen. It took a really bad dive.
Pokerus. If you can get Pokerus, which I did in Soul Silver, like a boss.
I don't think I'm gonna get in this. Pokerus basically it doubles the amount of EVs that you get. It's a temporary status thing. It doubles the amount of EVs you receive in battle, and it can be passed to order Pokemon.
It's beautiful if you're trying to competitively train, because you get one Pokemon that has Pokerus, you put it in your box,
and you just save it.
and you save it,
And then you just break it out whenever you need it.
and it'll give Pokerus to other Pokemon, and you can infect a bunch of Pokemon with it. It's technically like
changes. Here we go.
there we go. Physical special split. Here we go.
Yeah, this is what we've been talking about. It's basically things become physical and special. I'm looking for a chart for what's physical and what is special. It's not going to give it to me.
Go down. There's no actual way to tell if the attacks were physical or if they were special, except through the use of guides and websites. However, with this massive change, now when you check the Pokemon's attack and the status screen,
wasn't.
It will give you the classification. Oh, right, that's in
It's the new one that has that split and has them identified. Before it was just by
No,
type.
no, pre-split. Move. Pre-split just means go to the Pokedex.
I don't think it's going to work though.
Yep.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, hold on. Move.
Usually there would be a
Yeah, physical or special, but that's because it has a physical and special split. I need to figure out what type is physical and what types are special.
I don't think you're gonna have to look that up separately, but let's not do that right now.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's all the basics that you really need to know.
This is Cerebi. You may worship it now.
Yes.
Fuck Bulbapedia.
Bulbapedia really isn't good.
I forget. There was like one thing that I used Bulbapedia for that I can't use.
The anime stuff.
Well, no, I use this for anime stuff because right here, anime. Boom.
Yeah.
Manga. Boom. Or
But
video
anyway,
games.
yeah, because Cerebi does news, so when
Yeah.
you look at Cerebi,
Although their manga section's kind of out of date.
yeah, but they
while.
still do. They do news, and they'll give
Yeah.
you all of the announcements. So this is Nobuangu Ambition plus Pokemon, and you can see all the new news. They even do Pokemon of the Week, which is awesome.
has competitive battling strategies for Pokemon.
Yeah.
And such.
Okay. Yeah. So to give you one quick thing that I
Well, it's like Quagsire.
well, not Quagsire. Where's the Pokemon of the Week? There we go.
Oh,
So
sweet.
you can come in here and look at other Pokemons.
They haven't done Gengar yet, so you can cry now.
No, they have. It was in a previous generation. They haven't done
Yeah.
it this generation.
This is
But,
fifth generation what we're looking at, by the
But
way.
like, so if you want to look at the most OP thing ever invented,
Actually, not really.
Yeah, you're right. It did kind of lose some of its.
It's
beauty.
lost a lot since its origin.
But if you want to look at competitive battling, this is one of your best resources because they will actually go over movesets, choice of band, like that choice band.
Smogon is also a good thing to look at, but then again, their tier list is broken as all shit for
Yeah.
5th gen.
And this will tell you everything you want to know about it. This will even tell you the EVs that you want. Okay, like that's how in depth Cerebi gets with.
If
things.
you're that, he claimed I was OCD in the last episode. I'm not that OCD. Fuck EVs.
I am actually that OCD about Pokemon. But anyway, that's pretty much it.
Can I play the game now?
Yes, we're going to play the game.
Thank God. Let's
and,
do this.
See you guys later. Hopefully this was helpful.